The big story today is the Minnesota legislature has to adjourn today. Today is the last day, this Monday, and I thought we should go right to the State House and talk to someone who really knows what's going on, and that's Representative Tama Theis. Hi, Tama. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm doing pretty well.
Long time no talk to. Well, I thought instead of me trying to summarize what's been going on, we should get it from somebody right in the front lines. How's it going at the legislature today? Is there any stress at all?
Oh, a little bit. We actually did adjourn sine die at, I think it was approximately 11:57 last night. So today, basically we're hanging around because the Senate did not get the bonding bill passed.
Okay.
And we were hoping that the governor would be receptive to calling a special session for today, since a lot of the members are still here. They slept late, and they're planning on going back to their districts today. But we were just listening to the press conference he's giving right now, and he said he does not plan to do it in the next 48 hours. He wants to give everybody some time to really go through things. But right now he's got the tax bill and the supplemental bill, budget bills, which he could sign at any time. So we're kind of waiting to find out what action he's going to take on those. And then we're hoping to come back and get a bonding bill passed. They could not agree on transportation again. So what happened was, and one of the reasons that didn't go is that the hang-up on that is the Senate wanted to add language to include driver's license for undocumented folks. And by we, I mean the House, said that, our job was real ID, not additional driver licenses. And so we were not going to let that happen, and therefore we did not get a real ID bill, which is a little bit distressing since the governor wanted to call a special session last year just to get that passed. And then we also didn't get the transportation, done, and that was because of light rail funding money, basically. So what we did do is put a bunch of extra money into the bonding bill for road projects so that we would still be able to do a lot of money for roads and bridges yet this year. But at the last minute, the Senate decided to put an amendment on, including Southwest Light Rail, and we had already adjourned sine die, so basically they did not pass it, and so we're waiting to find out what's going to happen with that bonding bill.
So things are still up in the air. Now, can anything get done with the Public Works or the transportation bill?
Well, that's what we're waiting to find out.
Okay.
We want to act quickly. We want it, since, like I said, a lot of the folks are in the area yet.
Yeah, you're there.
Call them back tonight. Yeah, but it doesn't sound like the governor, from what he's saying at the press conference right now, is receptive to that. He wants to wait 48 hours, which, it's like then we're waiting longer. So we're not really sure what's going on. We're just kind of waiting here and trying to figure out what we need to do. So hopefully either that or we're coming back at the end of the week. But I know there's several folks that for work or whatever are planning different trips and such. So it's going to be harder to get.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. If this is, if somebody is a full-time legislator, that's your job. That's one thing. But if it's a citizen legislator who has taken time away from their existing career or job, and
right.
At some point they need to go back, right?
Right, and some of them are, just basically moving students back and forth, and all these plans have been made. So,
Tama,
well, everybody's close.
How many years have you been doing this now? Is this 3 or 4?
4.
4 years. Okay. Why is it just pure politics of why it always comes down to the 11th hour, or why things don't get done that the average citizen out here who doesn't pay as closely attention to it? Now, you have a wonderful newsletter. You keep me up to date all the time, but for folks who just don't pay attention to it, right. you sit there and you say, why is this happening? Why don't they get something done, huh?
Well, it is. It's very sad, and it actually feels like a type of betrayal because, a lot of folks work on these things. We need a lot talking about what's going on. I know a lot of people say that, everything happens behind closed doors. We have a lot of meetings and go through a lot of issues, and things don't go forward unless we know that they can go forward. So, we spend a lot of time meeting and talking about the different bills and what's in it. So it just really feels like, like a big betrayal in that the leaders have been negotiating. They come back, talk to us. We give them our input. They go back. You finally reach a deal. Okay, we've got it. And then at the last minute, and by that I mean last minute, it happened in the last 10 minutes, the Senate put the amendment onto the bonding bill and knew that it was not going to be acceptable to us. But because we had adjourned, it stopped right there. So they didn't have the time to take the amendment off and revote.
So how much longer are you going to hang out? I mean, are you just going to hang on for a little bit more and then head back home, or expect to go back at the end of the week?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, everything's kind of probably. I'll hang around, and if truly we're not going to meet today, then I'll keep in touch, but then I'll head home. Otherwise, just, kind of keep things lighter so that if at the last minute we hear something, we got to come back.
Any positives that kind of come out, though, that did get passed, even if they were last minute? I see that Dayton signed the law moving Minnesota to a presidential primary, which is something rather than a caucus.
Well, it doesn't get rid of the caucus system.
Okay.
It doesn't do that. Basically what this does is still have the primary, because one of the things we learned in March was that a lot of people do want to come out and vote in the primary. And there was a lot of confusion. People were showing up at their regular polling place all times of the day expecting to be able to vote, not realizing that it was a caucus, that we weren't a primary state. And so people weren't making it there in time because there was no place to park. We had ours at Apollo. It was jam-packed. The parking was an issue. It was hard to get everybody there, in time to do the vote. So this is not getting rid of the caucus system. It's just we're now going to have a primary rather than just doing a caucus. Okay, so
will that be at the same time on the same day?
I know that there was some talk between the parties and how we wanted it to happen. They were looking at not having it at the same time that the caucuses were happening. So I think they kind of came up with a little schedule, but what that is for sure, I don't want to speculate. They'll decide that all now, and because the state convention was on Saturday and we were in session, none of us got to go. So there might have been a discussion about it that I haven't heard about yet. Okay. So I think, maybe they did talk about it. We just haven't heard anything. So those will be some of the details that they'll work out.
Well, Steve Gottwald, King Banyan will be here tomorrow through Thursday, and I'm sure that they'll be following up on this topic as well. But can you do one favor for me besides say hi to Greg, of course? But
I
will. Will you? I loved it on Facebook too when he shaved his beard off. I mean,
isn't that great?
Yeah. Were you as happy as he looked, or?
I was. Right now, he's still doing this thing. If the Twins don't win, he's not shaving. So.
Oh my goodness sakes! Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to have a beard down to his knees based upon that kind of bet. Hey, besides saying hi to him, if something does come up from now until the end of the show, will you give us a call back here and let us know about it?
Absolutely will.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I will absolutely do that.
Okay. Well, Tam, always wonderful talking to you. Representative Tama Theis at the Minnesota State House. So you can tell there a little bit of the frustration that she has. And you could really, I could kind of tell that as well. I know she's worked hard. It was a late night last night, and now she's trying to figure out, should I come home? Should I wait? What should I do? This is Ox in the Afternoon. Dave Phipps sitting in for the Ox. You're listening to AM 1450, FM 103.3, KNSI.